It's time to get buttery.
I have no idea what we're starting with.
I think we should have everybody here one day. Free for all. No commercials.
That would be the day I take off.
You know what?
That would be the day I take
You
off.
deserve yet another day off. Dude, if you're a great orator and you could memorize your statement, fine. If you can't, you can't. I just need the fact. What did I say when you called me earlier this week? You had a problem. What did I say? Lower your expectations.
Lower my expectations.
That's all you got.
What you said. Listen, we're going to disagree on that, and that's fine. We just have different philosophies. And somebody agrees with you. I got a tweet that said, to let that man read his tweet.
What? Somebody tweeted you?
The in full disclosure.
Coming to you live from the studios at All Access 660. Stuttering this morning as we are a little bit late. It's the In Full Disclosure Show. I am your host, Mo Morris, along with my partner, Mr. Rasul Sharif. As always, the third man in the building is our resident engineer, Mr. Steve Will. Please check us out at All Access 660 on IG and on Instagram. Also, definitely go check us out at zenapp.com. Type in All Access 660. Please check out our past shows and episodes there, as well as find out a little bit more about All Access 660. While you're in there, just look at some of the other stuff that's in there. There's a ton of links that are in there to all types of stuff that's going on in the world. So definitely check it out. ZINNAPP.com. Today is March the 22nd, Sunday. We apologize for the delay. We had some major computer issues this morning getting ourselves booted up. We were good to go until 4 minutes before it was time for the show to start, and then all of a sudden we started having some issues this morning. But we definitely appreciate those of you who are listening today, who stayed with us through this period. Without question, we're going to have a fairly good show for you guys today, I think. Before I forget, I want to thank some people who were here last week. I want to thank Coach Jazz from Georgian Court University down in Lakewood, New Jersey, who was here last week with us. Division II women's basketball coach. She was wonderful. We absolutely thank her for coming in last week. We also want to thank my man Marlon, friend to the room, who came in, gave us an update about the situation that was going on with his daughter and her high school coach. So we absolutely thank him for coming in last week as well. We had a full house last week, as a matter of fact. We had the Insider was here, so I definitely want to thank him. Frank was here last week, as well as Fee Way was here. From if you guys remember our other show, our sister show on Wednesdays, Fee Way was here in the building. She didn't get on the air, but she brought in a nice rum cake for my birthday. Who else did we have here last week? Just a Touch of Love. He is a friend to the room, as well as a co-host from time to time when I'm not here. He was in the building last week. He came down from Connecticut. Big Will brought a trough full of cookies, I would say is the right way to go about it. I mean, tons and tons and tons of cookies were brought here last week. These cookies are incredible. But we definitely thank him for coming in last week. Other friends to the room, Sahid was here as well last week. We thank him for coming in. And I think I got everybody, right? I mean, it was a full house last week.
A lot of people here last week.
How are you, partner?
I'm good, man. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties. Some stuff just isn't agreeing with some other stuff right now, but I think we're okay now.
You think we're okay now?
I think we're all right. We usually talk about our weeks. My week with this messing around with this technology and this PC crap that I got to work with to kind of get the cameras and stuff rolling has been put me on suicide watch. I mean, the frustration of the PC world is so amazing to me. It's so not user friendly.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm being accurate in that depiction because I'm so used to working with the other side that I haven't worked on a PC in a long time. So a lot of YouTube tutorials, and shout out to AR for answering my text messages when I have issues. But it's just been a difficult thing. I did want to talk to you about something really quickly, and I know that we have something special coming up. You bring in these donuts for Breeze every day, right? And
let me set the scene.
All right,
I bring donuts in every week. I bring in some munchkins, a box of munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts every week. So go ahead.
All right, and I'm not. You guys know I'm not a big sweets eater, but every now and then I'll indulge in the donuts. And we talked about. I asked you today how you bring in these donuts, and you don't have any usually. You don't
Right.
eat any. And then we got on the subject of Krispy Kreme,
Right.
and I remember talking to you while the other show was going on, saying, "Man, if somebody would put jelly inside of a glazed donut, that would be awesome." And you were like, "Yo, they do that at Krispy Kreme." Then you brought some Krispy Kremes in, and I was hooked on that.
Right.
Then we got into the top 5 sweets, or I said it was in my top 5 sweets.
Yes.
And we start talking about Reese's, which I think is the most amazing sweet thing ever made
Reese's
in the
peanut butter
history
cups.
of things. And now tell these people about this new Reese's thing that you were telling me about that I may have. Now I'm not the biggest. What's in the Reese's?
It's a so the Reese's cup. What they did was they created a Butterfinger mixture now of a Reese's cup. So instead of just the peanut butter, what they did was they took a Butterfinger and chopped it up really fine and made it almost creamy, the same way that the peanut butter is in a Reese's cup, and they put it inside of a Reese's cup. And they even changed the shape of the Reese's cup a little bit. It's a little bit more squarish as opposed to round.
And look, man, I would try this because I'm gonna try this because you said so.
It's fantastic.
And again, I'm not a big. The original Reese's cup for me. I was nervous when they made minis because I said I don't know if the flavor is gonna be, but then I think the mini is better than the big one because you don't have to chew it,
Right.
like, and then you could just maximize the flavor. So I'm a little nervous because I don't like to mess with perfection.
Right.
You know, like I've once you find something that's really good, then you try to alter it a little bit. It could kind of mess you up, but I'm gonna give this a shot.
Listen, you have to go and try. I'm telling you, it's a really good thing, but it's not better than a regular Reese's cup. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's really, really good though.
But
It's
for
just
me,
different.
a person who doesn't like sweets, you think I'm gonna enjoy that?
Yes, I do.
If I'm gonna eat some candy, I'm going Reese's cup mini, and it's scary because if you buy it. Honestly, now if I want a Reese's cup, I'll buy the regular size because if I get the minis, they only come in a pack with so many.
Right.
So if I just go get one, like I'll get a king size.
Right.
So I get 4 of them.
Right.
I'll knock those out and be done with it. But if you gave me a bag of minis, I had pimples on my head. Yeah, it'd be crazy.
That's
Crazy.
cool. That's funny.
I heard you're getting out of here soon.
I am.
Again.
Before we go there, I wanted to say hello to Breeze. You good today? Everything is all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I just wanted to make sure
Appreciate it, my
we
man.
brought him into the fold today. Yes, I am going to be getting out of here again soon. I am on my way.
How many vacation days do you have this year?
I mean,
Because I need to talk to my agent.
I probably only have about 8 for the year
Oh, so
as
you
far
got
as the
8?
show is concerned.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's probably only about 8.
It's only 52 shows.
It's only 52 shows.
So you got 8. Okay, I feel you.
But yeah, so I am going to be getting out of here Friday morning. I'm going to be leaving on my way out to Los Angeles, California. And we bring that up because we have a special guest on the line today. We have a friend to the room. Miss Kelly Stewart is on the line with us today. And I'm just going to give a little bit of background about Kelly. Kelly was here sometime in I think she was here in 2014. I think she was here. She came in and she visited with us, and we interviewed her and we had a wonderful time. Kelly is an old friend of mine, or whatever. But anyway, you guys have seen her on Hot Tub Time Machine right now, which is out in theaters. She's also on The Soul Man, which is on TV Land. She plays the character of Kim, as well as she's been in a ton of other things. Kelly, are you there with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We absolutely can hear you. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
That's right.
Is that
Good morning.
Russell?
That is absolutely Rasul.
Good morning, Russell.
Thanks for my
all the way
invite.
from L.A. to
Thanks for
you.
my invite,
Good
too.
morning.
Thanks for my invite.
So did you hear him say thanks for his
I don't think
invite?
she heard that.
What's that?
He said thanks for his invite.
I didn't. I did not hear that, but it'll come to you, boo. I got you.
Really? Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
so Kelly is here today. She took a moment out, and it's 6:30 or 7 o'clock or whatever time it is out on the West Coast right now. So we appreciate her getting up early. But I'm going out to LA because she's having a birthday party in conjunction with a charity event, which I thought was an excellent idea when I heard the idea. So she's here to speak a little bit about the charity. So the first charity I think is called Kids in Spot or Sport. Kids in the Spotlight. I'm sorry.
Kids in the Spotlight.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So that's one, and then the other one is childhealth.org.
Yes.
All right. So I guess my first question is, what made you decide to have a birthday party in conjunction with your charity or charities with an S?
Well, I am. It's a milestone birthday for me.
Okay.
So it's been a wonderful decade for me out here in Los Angeles, and as a woman, as a person, just living in the world, you start to realize as you get a little older, a little mature, that, everything isn't about you. And philanthropy has always been a part of my life, and it's a big opportunity being in the entertainment industry to be able to bring attention and focus to issues that I'm passionate about and issues that others are passionate about, and to really just put my forces of nature out there to grab attention and help for kids that really, really need some assistance.
Very nice, very nice. Now, I didn't know this, so I can't take the credit for it, but you did advise me in our pre-conversation that April, which I don't think anybody in this room, and maybe I can be wrong, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Yes, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, which goes along with both of the charities, more specifically childhelp.org. Childhelp.org is an agency that created the National Child Abuse Hotline. So if a child is in danger, in an abusive situation, physically, sexually, emotionally, verbally, and they don't have anywhere to turn to, there's a hotline that they can call that's anonymous that will give them help and serve them in their hometown area. And that's the agency. Childhelp.org is the agency that created that, along with many other things in many other cities in the United States that deal with child abuse. For instance, the Merv Griffith Center that's here in Beaumont, California, which is about an hour and a half or so away from Los Angeles, is specifically where I work. And what they offer is it's basically a group home for children that are displaced, that are court-ordered from being in an abusive situation, whether it's in their home with their primary caretakers or whether it's in foster care and they have to leave. And it's an amazing, amazing center there for healing. They have water therapy. They have recreational therapy. They have art therapy. They even have farm therapy. So what that is on this campus, they have a pool, and the therapist that teaches swimming is also deals with child abuse and victims and helping them with care. They have an art teacher that's also a licensed therapist. So through painting, they can help children get out what may have happened to them. And even with the farm, they have people that deal with animals, and sometimes children are so severely abused. This particular center is a level 12, so children are rated from a 1 to 14, and 14 being psychiatric. So the place at Merv Griffin is actually 12, so that lets you know that these kids aren't really socialized anymore. Wow. That's how bad the situation is. And so some children won't talk to another human being. They won't talk to an adult, but believe it or not, they will maybe tell a horse or tell a lamb or tell, an animal what happened to them in their own way. And so this facility really aids in the healing of children. And I really wanted to make sure that I was able to bring as much funding to keep these things going as possible. They even have a chapel on that campus where the minister is also a therapist. So that's the beautiful work that they do.
Well, let me ask you a question. How did you get involved with that specific charity? How did you find out about it? What made you decide to use that one as the one that you were going to attach yourself to?
Okay, well, I work with Kids in the Spotlight as well, which takes foster children and neglected children, and they write short films, and they bring in industry professionals, actors, directors, writers, so forth, to help them shoot these short films. And through Kids in the Spotlight, I wanted to learn. I was in one of the films and helped the children with that, and they have a whole, film festival for the kids, and it's all charitable, so different people like Omar Dorsey, who plays Cookie on, oh God, what's that show now? I can't think of it, really. Not Sons of Anarchy, the other thing. Ray Donovan.
Okay.
He was in the show with me. One of the Sons of Anarchy cast was in the film with me. And through working with those children, I really wanted to know how else I could help children that are victims of child abuse or neglect. And that's how I found childhelp.org. And I simply called and said, I want to participate. I want to be a part of your organization. I want to become an ambassador. I want to use my my celebrity, I say that in quotes, to be able to bring attention to your cause and what you guys do. And they just opened the doors with welcoming arms and said, hey, come on up. And I started working with them specifically.
Now, how often do you go, like monthly or biweekly, or how does that work? Or just as your schedule permits?
As my schedule permits, I go, and like I said, it's an hour and a half away, so, it's a day. It's kind of a day trip. But every time I go, I get more out of it than the kids get from me. I mean, it's miraculous to see children that aren't socialized start to talk again and start to open up to you, and what forms of therapy work for them. So I go as often as I can, and that's why I'm giving this birthday party, because this is another way that I can help. You don't always have to just help by physically being there, raising funds, or even just spreading the word to other people that might want to volunteer, or even just bringing awareness, like Child Abuse Awareness Month. Many people don't know that there actually is a Child Abuse Awareness Month. And to be able to just bring light to the issues that are going on with our children right here at home, and they're going on everywhere, but they are going on here at home. So that's one of the reasons why I'm throwing this fundraiser birthday party, is because I can't go to Beaumont as much as I want to, but this is something that I can do right here in my backyard.
Hey, Kelly, do you find yourself getting emotionally attached to some of these kids when you spend time with them? I guess you can kind of see some of the things that they're going through, and specifically, if I don't know how many kids are in the program at a time, or how many you interact with when you're at the facility. But I mean, how do you manage your emotions when you see some of the problems that they're going through?
That's an excellent question, actually. It is very, very difficult to compartmentalize, the emotion of it versus the action and the help. But, you find yourself being, when you're around children in general, you find yourself just being selfless, and in terms of managing the emotion, like I said, they give more to me than I give to them. They are still kids, and the very basic fundamental things that kids need, just to feel validated, just to feel like they're cared for, just to feel like they're protected, they will light up in the room from that. I mean, there are children that are not able to really look you in the eye, or that kind of go into a corner by themselves. And what I find is that I respect their privacy and I respect their boundary, because if I approach a child and they don't want to talk, they rather watch TV, then that's fine. I respect their boundary. But after some time goes by, they will usually warm up when they see other kids in the room doing activities, or they want to be a part of it. So you kind of just listen to what they need. And, to be more specific with answering your question, when I get in the car, definitely some tears are shed, and definitely, I wish that I could do more. And you definitely have to be able to know how to put it down so that you can still be of service. And I remember the last time that I was there, they gave me a necklace that had a charm on it that said protected. And so here these children are giving me a necklace telling me that I'm protected. And they're the ones that really, really need our protection. So I had to hold back the tears in that moment, because I didn't want to give them my grief for them. I just want to give them my strength. And so you know when to hold it back, and you cry in the car, and you just continue to forge on, because at the end of the day, when they start smiling as kids and running around the yard as kids, they're still just they're kids.
Oh. Very nice, very nice. I guess, and this is just an assumption, these kids are just from all backgrounds of life, all walks of life, correct?
All walks of life, all ethnicities.
Right.
At the Merv Griffith Center, like I said, those are court-appointed cases. There's about 90 beds open there, and I think they had, when I was last month, there was 84 occupants.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
it's
that gives you an idea of knowing that there's 90 slots. And they even have a school at the Merv Griffith Center, so they do go to school every day from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they sleep there. They have they eat there. They have a mess hall there. It's it's a campus, but they all have different levels of abusive situations. And there's 4 kids to a room, and it's very intense. I won't go into all those things, but they really do a wonderful thing. For instance, if a child had been abused at night, they will put that child in a room with kids that are able to sleep, so that those kids can help that child sleep. They won't put children that have had night tremors, all of them in the same room, because none of them will rest. Do you know what I mean? So they really classify this in terms of how these kids can actually help one another. So it's a very structured program. It's a very well thought out program, and the volunteers as well as the staff they're just absolutely incredible. But the kids are from all walks of life, all ethnicities, and the ages go from about 5 to about 13.
Wow.
And they even provide them with medical care. The last time I was there was a young girl that had to have her tonsils out, so a nurse is there on staff every day, and doctors come in and psychiatrists come in. So it's an extremely beneficial program for our children. But with 90 beds and 84 occupants, that just lets you know that this is a crisis, and that door is revolving. More kids come in all the time.
Wow. So really quickly, I know that you have a donation line. So in lieu of giving gifts, this is what you've asked from everyone. You've asked everyone who's going to come to your party to basically give a donation. So I want you to give out the link that people can go to.
Okay.
They can actually go out, and if they want to donate, or even if they just want to go out and find out more information about the actual charities, it's something that they can do, and then we'll go a little bit further after you give that out.
Okay, perfect. So yes, the links are for childhelp.org. It's childhelp, all one word, .org / my first name, Kellee, and then it's / Stewart, STEWART. So childhelp.org, and then it's that / Kellee / Stewart. Kids in the Spotlight is kidsinthespotlight.org / Kellee Stewart.
Okay, that's great. So now I know, and please, and we'll continue to shout those out as the day goes on today. You and I also had a discussion that if you are going to donate and you say that you heard the interview on All Access 660, potentially we could send them out something that's signed by the Soul Man cast. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. If they mention during a donation, because I can't, unfortunately, that I'm asking this for the guests that are going to be in attendance, but I'm also just asking this of our general public. If you want to be a part of helping children, if you want to be a part of bringing awareness, please log on to childhelp.org and log on to Kids in the Spotlight with my name. I tweet out the link. It's also on my Instagram, kstu222. And if you notate during that donation, there'll probably be like a part there where you put your address and you can put a note that you heard about it at All Access 660. Then I will get an autographed picture or script from the Soul Man cast, which is Cedric the Entertainer and Niecy Nash and Sherry Shepard and Wesley Jonathan and little old me. And I'll send that out to you as a thank you for participating and helping these kids. So unfortunately, I can't invite the United States of America, but we can You don't have to be there in attendance at the party to be able to help out and reach out to these kids. So I'll be happy to do that.
That is a wonderful thing. And, obviously we will do our part on that. So you people who are listening out there, and if you do donate and you say that you heard it on the actual All Access 660 show, what we will do is we will send you an All Access 660 t-shirt, which there are not many of them in existence, but we do have them, and we will absolutely send them out on top of what you're going to get. And obviously your gift will probably be a lot nicer than ours, but we absolutely appreciate it.
That's awesome. So people just say that they heard it at All Access 660. They get an autograph from the Soul Man Calf and a T-shirt from you guys.
From us. Absolutely.
And you know what, Kelly? I'm going to throw in an extra gift.
Oh, wow.
I can't I can't say what it is because it's not ready to go yet, but it will be ready to go by the time this is over. So if it's okay with you, do you mind if we embed those links in our Zen app so people can go to them and see them?
I would love for you to embed them in there. Okay, I would love to. I'm very, very grateful to you guys. I've been such a supporter, and I really, really love what you guys do every week, and you're amazing people as well as hosts, and knowing you personally, I'm just super proud, and just thank you, because, I'll just let the truth be told that I texted Mo this morning and was like, can you get me on the air so I can talk about the charities and get it out there so people know where to go. And within 2 minutes, he was like, no problem. I got your back. We'll call you up and make sure that you're able to talk about what you're doing. So thank you guys. I don't know if your listening audience knows that, this was something that I wanted to do, and you guys accommodated me very, very quickly on a last-minute notice. So thank you guys for what you do.
I think I'm getting emotional now. Oh, man.
Well, listen, Kelly, you are a friend to this room, and you know that. So absolutely anything that you need. So real quick about the party, and then we're gonna let you go. Okay. So Kelly asked me to speak at this party.
Yeah.
So I gotta come with my right gear, and I gotta have the right conversation, right?
You need me to ghostwrite for
please.
you?
No, I'm not gonna write it. Straight from the heart.
Oh,
not writing it.
Oh, from the heart.
I am absolutely not writing it. So it's like 200 people at this party. And
there's about 200 people at the party.
And I'm gonna have to get up
and speak. I asked Mo, and it's one of those things because, Mo, he's a very specific dude, as y'all know. He has his ways. And so I was like, how do I broach this, because I'm going to have a couple of my friends, Nisi's going to be talking, and, a friend of mine, Nico. But Mo has been a part of my life for 15 years, and he's my best friend. And I was like, he has to talk. I have to hear his voice that night. And again, I sent out one text, and he said, absolutely anything for you. And I thank you for that. But yeah, please come correct. Like, please have your gear from top to bottom right.
Listen.
There'll be a lot of phones out, a lot of video. There'll be a videographer there. There'll be a little red carpet. There'll be pictures. You're going to be on fleek, Mo.
Wow.
So, you might be speaking from the heart. Just make sure it's right.
Oh, listen, I'm not worried about that. But listen, again, Kids in the Spotlight and also childhealth.org. Kelly Stewart, you can always check her out on Wednesdays on the Soul Man as Kim. Also, check out Hot Tub Time Machine. It's in the theaters right now as we speak. We love you. We thank you so much.
We love you. I love you guys.
Yeah, and thanks for my invite to the party.
Mo, would you forward that to that boy, please?
Forward it to him?
Yeah, get it popping.
5 days, huh?
Okay.
Because he'll take the rest of 2015 with me on this one.
Absolutely. All the way to December. All the way.
Again, definitely.
All right, thank y'all so much. Have a good rest of your show.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, peace.
All right. Again, that was Kelly Stewart. Please go check out our organizations, childhealth.org and kidsinthespotlight.com. Check them out and donate. I'm going to donate something. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to donate yet, but I am absolutely going to donate. She will also send out for those of you who mentioned All Access 660, she'll send out an autograph, something from the cast of Soul Man, which is Cedric the Entertainer, Niecy Nash, Kelly Stewart, Jonathan, Wesley Jonathan, I think is his name, Sherry Shepard. So it's a group of people that people know as far as the names are concerned. And we will throw in our T-shirt at All Access 660.
I've got something special.
And then Rasul also has something special. Yes. So definitely, it's a nice little package. But just in general, just maybe to donate for the kids.
Maybe we'll get Will to make some cookies. Send that out as a nice care package as we try to get him to incorporate crackcookies.com. Maybe we'll get him to send out a package as well.
So we're going to take a short break?
I don't think so.
No? We're going to go straight? We're going to move on?
The producer, director, floor man, general extraordinaire said no break.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. College basketball. We are here. It is time for March Madness. March Madness has started. Some of the games have been pretty good. We've seen the number 1 seed get knocked off already in Villanova, which happened yesterday. And I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Kentucky game. And you know, I've been on these airwaves since the first week I saw Kentucky play. First game I saw them play, I said Kentucky's not going to lose. I watched them again yesterday, and yesterday they played Cincinnati. They're not going to lose. Listen, Kentucky are grown men, and they 18, 19 years old, but they're grown men playing with kids out there. They are batting balls around like it's crazy. I think they had 9 or 10 blocks yesterday. The kid that you need to pay attention to that nobody's really talking about, and he's probably the best kept secret on that Kentucky team, the 6'10" forward, Trey Lyles is his name. He's a freshman. That kid is going to be an extremely good NBA pro, from what I can see. It looks like he can put it on the floor a little bit. He can shoot a 12 to 15-footer a little bit. He's a decent defender. He is the one guy on that team that nobody talks about, but he is a solid player. Now, did you get a chance to watch any of that game yesterday?
I did.
Okay.
So I got to watch a few games. I was trying to work on some of this technical stuff and looking up and down, but I don't know. I guess it's weird how people see the same thing. They're looking at the same thing but see things differently.
Right.
I mean, I thought I don't think that they're unbeatable. Now I think that they probably should win the tournament, but I don't think that they're unbeatable. And I think that again, if I was gonna bet on it, I'm always gonna bet on the age. And you call them grown men, but I took Wisconsin as my champion and immediately got a text from you implying that I was using drugs. Right.
Yes.
I just really believe that the difference between 22 and 18 or 23 and 19 or whatever the 4-year gap is with these guys in college, I really do think it means something. Now, I'm not suggesting that freshmen couldn't compete, because there are some exceptional freshmen who obviously can compete with grown men, because we've watched in the past, 18-year-olds go to the league and be able to hold their own somewhat. So
LeBron James.
Right. So I'm not suggesting that that's an impossible thing, but generally speaking, I will go with the age. And I picked Wisconsin because they made it far last year. I want to say they got to the national semifinal last year.
I think they
barely lost to Kentucky. Like in last minute, lost to Kentucky. One of the Harrison kids hit a big shot at the end to win, and a lot of that team came back. And so between the fact that the loss probably left a bitter taste in their mouth, and they're a year older, a year stronger, and they've got to be saying, some new freshmen gonna come in and get us now. I'm not sure.
But here's the deal, right? So, and you talk about the freshmen. The bulk of their team are sophomores.
Okay, but
so they've been through the experience.
Okay, but I'm still a senior, and I'm thinking I was a play away from beating these guys last year.
Okay.
The core of my team is back. The stars from my team is back. Now you have some new stars at Kentucky, some freshman guys who are now stars. I'm thinking from a mental perspective. I would be going in the game saying, I don't think that they're just going to run me out the gym. So I think I can compete, and I think they have a great chance to win. I mean, not just a good chance. I think they absolutely have a great chance to win.
Well, so if they get there, because I don't have Wisconsin even getting there. So I believe Wisconsin's either, and I got them losing to Carolina, but I do believe that even if they beat Carolina, they will probably lose to Arizona. Right? I'm not that big of a fan of Wisconsin. So like everybody seems to be really high on Wisconsin. I'm not necessarily that high on them, right? So they have the big guy in the middle, Kaminsky, I think is his last name. They have him in the middle. And they have a couple of guys that can shoot a little bit, but they're not overly great. They're no better than anybody else that's out there playing. And they played in the Big Ten, right? So they're not really battle tested. Let's be honest about it. They're not. And you can tell me, yes, last year they made it, but this year they haven't played those kind of games. And I'm gonna give my point a little further about a different game, but they haven't played in those kind of games. So they're gonna have to beat Carolina, and then they're gonna have to beat Arizona, who Carolina has played in those games all season. And then they have to turn around and beat Arizona.
Right, okay, and I feel what you're saying, but again, I brought this up last week, and you said you were going to check it out. I don't know if you got a chance to or not.
Probably
I did.
Not.
Who did Kentucky play this year that was so, wow, I'm so battle-tested. I played in the SEC, which is, who else in the SEC am I afraid of?
Listen, we agree. They only play 5 ranked teams all season, so you were absolutely accurate on that.
Okay.
So I did check that. But the difference is these kids are better than what's at Wisconsin. That's the difference, because if I went to Wisconsin and I switched and I intermingled those rosters, I don't even know if Kaminsky even starts. I don't know if he starts.
If he's not national player,
he's the national player of the year. I don't know if the season started to start the year. I don't know if he starts, because he wouldn't be the national player of the year playing on Kentucky, because the team is just too unselfish for that to be the case.
Right. Styles make matchups for me.
Okay.
Right? Styles make the fight. Right. So,
okay.
I don't think that. I think if you start looking at guys individually, and when we look at individual talent, I'm looking at the guy. You said I like Trey Lyles. I think he's got a chance to be. I don't know about how good of a pro he's going to be, but
I think he's going to be a decent pro.
I think he has a chance to be a decent pro. Some of these other guys, I'm looking at them. I don't know who's spectacular on the team. Maybe the Towns kid. Maybe he's okay.
He's good.
He's good. I mean,
right. They're just good. They're a collection of good guys.
Right. So I'm just. Individual talent and the way they play. I wonder if they get to play somebody who's close to their size, somebody who can shoot from outside, somebody who can keep them off the offensive boards. I just wonder how that game's gonna go if they've got some people.
We saw it. LSU. We watched LSU, and LSU took them down to late. Like they were up, I think, with 2 minutes to go. LSU.
Okay.
We saw it.
Let's watch somebody who can take them to that level. And should LSU have won the game?
Well, I mean, they had a chance to win. I'm not going to say they should have won, but they had a chance to win.
What was the mitigating factor of them losing? Why they lose?
Well, they couldn't score anymore because their defense clamped down and it was over.
Okay, so I want to see if somebody is Wisconsin better than LSU?
Yes, they are.
Right. So let me see if I've got some and I'm gonna give them credit for being battle tested, because I'm gonna give them credit for a lot of those guys are back this year from last year. So I'll give the sophomores battle tested. I'll say that they're battle tested because of their experience last year. So I'm gonna factor in experience in their college careers. I just like to see it. Where I'm going, I don't know if everybody's acting like Kentucky's gonna walk over everybody. I don't know if they're walking over everybody.
I don't know if they're gonna walk over everybody, but if they play a game within 6 points, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised.
When I'm watching the Cincinnati game yesterday, and I'm going, they had one more guy. Kentucky might be. I understand they didn't. Now, I don't think Kentucky's in West. I mean, I don't think they were in Wisconsin's class. Cincinnati.
Agreed, but they play a physical game, so Wisconsin's not going to play that physical game that Cincinnati did.
Right, but Cincinnati also has no outside shooting, so you're playing right into the strength of what Kentucky does best. Right. If somebody can hit some outside shots somewhere and not getting their shot swatted around all day, I just think the game could. I just think the game could go differently.
Listen, I don't see anybody beating Kentucky. I just don't. And obviously they can lose. We agree. They absolutely can lose. I just don't see it.
Let me ask you a question that everybody's asking on television now. And this will tell me a lot.
Okay.
They go undefeated. They win it all. They an all-time team?
Are they an all-time team? I mean, they're not going to be at the front of that list, no. But they would be in that top 5-6 teams, yes. But they're not going to be at the front of the list.
Okay, but I don't think that they would be an all-time team.
Why?
I'm
surprised by you because you factor in defense so much into basketball, and you're not like I would expect you to be thrilled.
I'm factoring in the lack of offense in college.
But they don't have lack of. Oh, you mean overall?
In college, right? So they're good. They're a really good defensive team, but who the great shooters in college right now? Maybe it's 3-4 of them. I think we're gonna talk about one of them today, maybe. But is he great? I don't know. I mean, we're just getting to see a little bit of him. That's a little tease for you guys out there.
Dude, I firmly believe that nobody's beating Kentucky, man. I watched them yesterday. They got size at the guards. They got bench players that are really good that probably would start on most programs in America.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, dude. Listen, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. And it's crazy. I'm looking at this Kentucky team. I'm thinking about past Kentucky teams saying, I don't even think they're as good as those teams.
Oh, you have to be kidding. Because defensively, this is the best Kentucky team. This might be the best defensive team I've seen in years. Honest to true. Maybe even going back to the UNLV days.
Okay.
With Stacey Augmon.
Is it?
Well, tell me another.
No.
I'm just talking defense. I'm only talking defense. Tell me another great. And I could have gone further and said the Georgetown days with Pat Ewing and the ballhead Dalton kid. I can't think of his name right now. Or Hakeem Elijah.
I'm going to give it some thought, but I might take the Arkansas 40 minutes of hell team.
Absolutely not.
Defensively over there.
That was a straight gimmick.
It was a gimmick?
Yeah, it was absolutely a gimmick.
Oh, my goodness.
Ty Day playing defense, really? Lee Mayberry playing defense? Get out of here.
Which one of them Harrison twins playing D like that?
Oh, one of them can actually play defense.
What the other one?
Good.
Is the other one?
No.
Is he a great defender?
No, they don't need to be because they got them 2 7-footers back there throwing everything out the lane. Everything.
Coming up next, let me look at this agenda because it was so crazy today. I can't even tell you. We got NFL, we got NBA, more March Madness, and
oh yeah, I gotta get on somebody. March Madness.
Mo's got about 5 questions with this. Which would you rather for me? I'm real nervous. He came in here today and he mentioned it about 8 times. Can't wait to see how you answer this one. So stay tuned. It'll be interesting. We'll be back.
All good things must come to an end, except his. When he's involved, the unthinkable think. He is your favorite person's favorite person. He is the most interesting fan in the world.
I don't listen to internet talk radio often, but when I do, I listen to the All Access 660 network. Keep listening, my friends.
One minute after hour, back to the In Full Disclosure show. Again, we want to apologize for the technical difficulties early today. I mean, we hadn't had difficulties in a long time, and obviously today we did have them. So thank you guys so much for staying with us. Again,
I think Kelly made me nervous.
Kelly made nah, it's absolutely not.
I'm scared of her.
Listen, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, Kelly Stewart was on with us earlier today. Childhealth.org or Kids in the Spotlight. Please go out and check those charities out. Also, April, Child Abuse Awareness Month. Definitely be aware of that. It's a great organization, great charity. So definitely check it out as you have some leisure time. I want to continue on with this college basketball theme, obviously. Georgia State. So Georgia State played Xavier. Now, Georgia State pulled off the upset and beat Baylor the other day. Now, I have a friend, at my job who had been in my ear about Georgia State for a while. So the kid R.J. Hunter, their best player, I kind of knew about early before the season started because he had told me about him, and then I saw a little documentary on him about how, his claim to fame had started to happen and how he ended up at Georgia State. Well, his father is the head coach of Georgia State. Now, I don't know if you got a chance to see all of this, right?
He's trying to make himself a celebrity. I've seen that.
And this is where I'm headed, right? So his father tore his ACL in the conference championship game. Achilles, I'm sorry. In his conference championship game, he tore his ACL. So it looks like he had the surgery. So now he's riding around on this little knee thing, or whatever, and it's some wheels, and he put one knee down and he kind of pushes himself. Man. It's a scooter, whatever. Yeah. I had never seen it before. So he's riding around on this. He made this whole Georgia State experience about his son. And this is where I have the issue, right? He came into the press conference and said, this is not about Georgia State. Today I'm going to be a father. And made it about his son. You cannot do that. And I understand that he's extremely proud of his son because I would be as well. I completely get it. His son made a huge shot against Baylor. It was probably from 28 feet. He made his long three against Baylor, right? So he came in. He's all proud in the press conference. Yeah, it ain't about me being a coach today. It's about me being a dad and this being my son. You can't do that. What message are you sending to the rest of your team? Because you're asking your team to buy into what you're selling, but yet you're talking about, this ain't about me being a coach. You do that with your son later on. You handle it. So they get to the second round. Well, the second round. They play Xavier yesterday. They gave Xavier a good game.
No doubt.
Actually, yesterday. One of their better players didn't play. He was hurt. I think he hurt his back or something. He was one of their other three-point shooters.
I think he had a hammy.
He had a hammy?
I think.
So he did not play very much. I think he played a little bit in the first half, but then the second half came and he didn't play at all. The point guard, his name was Harrow, was his last name. It's the point guard. All right, so they go on. Georgia State ends up losing. His son had a decent game, and we're going to break down his game a little bit later. He had a decent game. He finished with 20. They lost by, I think, 4 or 6 or something like that. But they had a pretty good game. After the game, the celebrity starts again. You see him walking off the court. He gives his son a handshake. Okay, great. No problem with that. First off, he took his son out of the game so he could give him a hug, like one of those, all right, the game is over. Let me pull you out so you can get your minute.
Could be his last year.
But he did it with Kevin Ware as well, so I can't say that he didn't. But he didn't really hug Kevin Ware the way he stood up and hugged his son. Fine. And maybe I'm being overly critical, but this is just what I saw.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe I'm being overly critical.
Maybe.
So they're walking off the court, and the crowd, obviously, the Georgia State fans are there. And he's waving, and the son is waving, and they're walking next to each other. And all of a sudden, the waterworks start. And he's doing this, and he's doing this as he rolls himself out of the door. You got to be kidding. Stop.
I hope everybody's looking and not just listening.
you got to be kidding, because I'm sitting here like, really? You're the head coach. But it doesn't stop there. He goes into the press conference, and he goes on to say, it's a great day, the greatest 72 hours of my life, and, but great. I'm all good with that. But you lost. But the greatest 72 hours of my life, and we'll be back. Georgia State fans know who we are, and we'll be back. We'll get some young kids, But, and Kevin Ware over there, I enjoyed it. But I love this guy. And then he breaks down and makes it about his son again. He breaks down, and he's touching his son on the back of the neck, and he's crying and crying. And I don't know if they're real tears or not.
Wow. Wait. Are
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, dudes are pulling fake tears.
Because he gets to the point where he's able to say, okay, first question, next question, or whatever it was. He was able to get that up. I don't know. And listen, let's be very clear. I think he's a really good coach from what I can see what he's done with this Georgia State program, because they should have made it to the tournament last year and got beat by Louisiana Lafayette, I think, in the conference championship game. So I'm not knocking what he does as a coach. And you know what? One of these bigger programs, and I heard Alabama's open this year, need to be calling him saying, listen, You need to come down here and coach for Alabama. So I absolutely pray that he gets a job. So I'm not even knocking what he does as a coach or even his personality. But the theatrics around his son is a bit too much.
I like when you go off on your little soapbox. You know what I mean? Let me ask you a question. I think I might agree with you.
Okay.
I think I'm still trying to figure this out in my head. Let's just say RJ, his son, wasn't his son. So say his son didn't play on the team, but RJ was the best player on the team, and I love this guy. And
I'm okay with it. Because he doesn't take himself out of being the coach. When he took himself out of being the coach, that's where I had the issue.
Well, then the real question is do you really want him to treat his son like he would treat any other player?
Yes.
Okay, but you would have been okay if that was another player and it wasn't his son and he did the exact same thing for that other player. If it wasn't his son,
right? It
was just the best player on the team. He had the same reaction. Right. It just wasn't his son.
Right.
You'd have been okay with that.
I would have been okay with it.
But just because it's his son, he can't act like that because it's his son.
No. It's because he said it's not about me being a coach. It's about me being a father. So at that point, you basically thrown Georgia State to the side.
So you just have an issue with the one comment. Out of all that, it's just a comment.
The comment
that he said
the whole crying thing. Listen.
I mean, I've seen coaches come up there. These guys are like kids to me. He's like a kid to me.
I get it.
He's
but
like
him walking off doing this.
But I'm saying if he did all that, and if it wasn't his biological son, you'd have been okay with that, right?
No, I wouldn't even been okay with the whole crying thing.
So you didn't like the self-promotion.
Listen, he's going to be on one shining moment, which they do at the end of the NCAAs. He's probably going to have 4 things on there. Okay. His son's going to have one from the 3-point shot that he made.
And the Alabama job. Okay.
Listen, right?
And the Alabama job.
An Alabama job.
Okay.
So his son's going to have that. He's going to have himself falling on the ground after his son makes that shot. That's going to be on one shining moment.
Was that too much for you?
No, he just fell. I don't have an issue with that. I mean, that was his reaction. It was a reaction. But he's going to be on there for that. He's going to be on there, I promise you, with him and his son walking off the court together. I promise you that will be on there. And then the press conference, he will be on there for that. And they probably will have him pushing himself on that cart somewhere as well. Or the stool that he was sitting on at the game, rolling himself back and forth in the coach's box. He's going to be on there.
Look, man, let me just say, I feel worse for the kid. No, I really do. Because, like, that kid, if somebody else feels the way you feel, that kid has to deal with that every day. You know?
Yes.
So I probably feel a lot worse for the kid. I don't know if I ever could have played for my dad.
Oh, absolutely you could have. And I had this conversation. My man kept on. He's listening today, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you why. I literally just had this conversation Friday. So the reason you would have played for your dad, because from all accounts, this kid was a 4-star recruit out of high school and could have gone to a major school, but he decided to stay home and go with his father. The reason you could have played with your father, because your father has this conversation with you. Listen, son, I know you could have gone to Indiana or Butler or wherever, mid-major or Division 1. You stay here, I'm going to get you every shot that you want. Every shot that you want, I'm going to build this program around you. You're going to be in the spotlight every night.
Nah.
I promise you. If you go to Kentucky, you're going to play 26 minutes a night. You're going to get 40 minutes a night.
You must be forgetting who you're talking to. All right. I'm him. I go to Davidson and follow the Steph Curry blueprint.
But why wouldn't you just do it at Georgia State? It's the same level.
Well, I don't know. I just don't want to play with my father.
Even though he's going to give you every shot?
I'm going to get every shot I want.
That's not necessarily true.
If I'm a 4 or 5-star recruit and I'm going to Monmouth, I'm getting every shot I want, or else I'm not that good. Or else I'm not that good. Steph Curry went out there and got every shot he wanted because he was that good. So if I'm that good, and I'm the one who told you this, we talked about this, I don't go to Kentucky if I'm a McDonald's All-American.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to
You're not going to Davidson.
Why not?
You're not going to Davidson.
Why wouldn't I?
You're not going to Davidson.
I'm going to get every shot I want. Listen, I'm having this conversation yesterday. I'm trying to get to the league.
Listen.
Some of the Kentucky dudes might be in trouble.
Nah.
Those Harrison twins came out so highly touted.
Right.
We seeing are they high draft picks?
Here's the difference. John Calipari has sold that team on. You don't have to go here and drop 20 a night or 17 a night. You can come here and average 9 and make the league. He has sold them on that, and it works.
But you see a guy who's getting 13 a game and going, he's only getting 13 a game because the systems he's playing in.
Right.
I'm looking at these Harrison twins now, like, could they go anywhere and get 20 a game? Could they be anywhere and get 20 a game like every night? See, I think that some other players that we see who don't get the numbers, we go, wow, if he was over there by himself, he'd be out here destroying it. I look at the Harrison twins, and we've talked about this before about you can't go straight to the pros out of high school now, so your warts get to get exposed. Now, they ready to come out this year? I doubt it. So they got to come back next year. Some freshmen came in and taken some of your time already.
Yeah, but I don't know if they were that good though.
But and they may not have been. But the point is, they could have put up some numbers somewhere else. Possibly, you would have hoped that they could have put up some numbers somewhere else to say, okay, maybe it'll warrant me getting overdrafted. Because that's what you're really unless you're number one, number two, you're trying to get overdrafted, right? So you can get a better check. So they're not gonna get overdrafted. Nobody's gonna be like, I see the potential in these guys' name. I'm absolutely me. I'm that kid. I'm absolutely on the Davidson. Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, those dudes that's the blueprint now. That is the absolute blueprint. Damian Lillard, if Damian Lillard was on a Kentucky team when he was in school, would Damian Lillard been the 6th pick in the draft or whatever he was? There's no shot of him being the 6th pick in the draft.
Yeah, but we got a guy who might be the number 1 pick in the draft and another guy who's going to definitely be a top 5 or 6 himself on that same Kentucky team.
But I saw it. You think Damian Lillard, knowing him in college, you only saw him a couple times. No, you think if he'd have played on a Kentucky team like this, where he didn't get to expose his entire repertoire to everybody, that he would have been a 6th pick in the draft?
Here's the thing. I don't know what he did his first couple of years at Wichita State. I don't know how good he was. Right, so that's the thing we don't get to see. Right,
Wichita.
I mean, not Wichita State, but
right.
Yeah, I forgot where he went. But yeah, I don't get to see what he did.
I see other guys who get to go to these programs, be the guy, and then some of them wind up getting overdrafted. We're looking at it in hindsight now. Damian Lillard going number 6, which I believe he went 6th. Fine, we don't have an issue with it, right? We're looking at his career now, going pick warranted. But there's some guys who get drafted who went to these smaller places who got to be the guy and wind up getting drafted right or overdrafted. You go to one of these institutions one of these programs where you can't really get the individual shot. If I'm the best player in America, it doesn't matter where I go, right? Because my talent's going to be able to just suggest that. This kid, RJ, if he's on Kentucky, I mean, he would be the best shooter on Kentucky, so I'm assuming that he would play a little more. But maybe he doesn't play enough defense to play for Cal. I don't know. So is he putting up the numbers he's putting up right now? He had these 2 games. Well, the championship game is the game that he kind of wilded out. And then he hit the big shot. I'm gone. I'm him. I'm gone. And he's probably gone, and he'd probably be top 10.
No, he's not going to be a top 10.
He wouldn't be top 10, top 15?
Right now, they got him projected at 18.
15. I'm saying 15.
Can't get his own shot. I watched that yesterday, but that's another conversation. Villanova, number 1 seed. And we will absolutely go into him probably off the air. Villanova, number 1 seed. Lost yesterday at North Carolina State. Are you shocked?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard for me to be shocked about a lot of stuff that's happening in college basketball because I didn't follow it very closely. So you automatically associate number 1 seed with one of the top 4 programs in the country. And so from that perspective, yeah, I'm shocked.
I'm not shocked, and I'm going to tell you why. Villanova plays in the Big East. The Big East is null and void now, right? So to me, they were the weakest number 1 seed out of all the 4 that were there. They were the weakest. I'm also not shocked because as we spoke about earlier, as far as teams playing teams throughout the year, North Carolina State has to go through a gauntlet in the ACC. From Notre Dame, from Louisville, from Duke, from Carolina, and Virginia. They got to go through a gauntlet. So them coming up against Villanova, who was a number 1 seed, and they had a great year. I'm not saying they didn't. They only had 2 losses. For them to have to play Villanova, A, they were not afraid at all, right? They were not going to be afraid. And B, Villanova's just not that good. So for me to see them lose yesterday, and they I won't say they shut down Villanova's offense, but Villanova didn't shoot the ball well. And Villanova's a team that has to shoot in order to win. But for me to see North Carolina State beat them yesterday, I was not surprised at all. At all. At all. And Virginia is another team that's just like it to me. Right? See, I look at Villanova and I look at Virginia. I don't say I see the same team, but what I see is teams that will struggle being high seeds and them getting picked off by somebody would not surprise me.
But why? Virginia went through that gauntlet that you
They
said,
absolutely
and they won those tournaments.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they can't score. They keep games in the 50s. So as soon as they got to play against a team that happens to have a great shooting night, they're gonna lose. So it wouldn't surprise me. So yes, they did play in that gauntlet and they won.
Wait a minute. So they're one of the better defensive teams in
Yes,
the country.
they absolutely are.
Right. They did it in probably one of the two best conferences in the country.
I already know where you're headed. You about to say something about Kentucky?
I'm not. I'm just saying if I've got one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Yep.
Who did it in one of the best conferences in the country? One of the two best conferences. Without no one can argue that. You may say it's the best conference.
Which one?
ACC.
Oh, it's absolutely the best.
Okay.
conference.
So I was saying one out of two just to cover any bases. Well, I'm not worried about some. What am I worried about?
If you're who?
If I'm Virginia.
I'm worried about somebody coming in
shocked.
shooting well. I wouldn't.
I'll be shocked if one of these smaller squads knock them
I
out.
absolutely will not be shocked.
Okay.
And they're not going to play a smaller squad at this point. In fact, if Virginia continues to win, I think they play Oklahoma next. If they continue to win, they will play the winner of Louisville and I think it's Northern Iowa. Yeah, Louisville, Northern Iowa. That's who they're going to play the winner of. So they've seen Louisville already this year. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them lose to Louisville at all. But they're going to basically get to a point where they're going to have to play the winner of the South, which is probably going to be Duke, whatever.
Which they handled this year already, right?
Again, if they lose, I won't be surprised.
Okay. Coming up next, maybe some more NCAA. I'm sure some NFL, some NBA, and some Which Would You Rather. Please stay tuned for this. We'll be back.
Come on.
21 minutes after that, we're back to the In Full Disclosure show. Again, please check out, where's my paper now? Childhealth.org and Kids in the Spotlight. Please go check those out. Kelly Stewart was nice enough to join us this morning and talk about these two charities that she's a part of. Again, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. Also, please go and take a look at that. If you do make a donation and you mention All Access 660, you will get a signed autograph from the Soul Man cast, as well as an All Access 660 T-shirt from us. And also, Rasul is going to give you guys something special. So definitely do that. Mention All Access 660, and we will make those things happen. As you guys can see, we have a friend to the room in the building. Our boy Sahid is in the building with us today. Not sure what he's going to be able to contribute, but
wow,
he doesn't know much about basketball, but he's here today. How are you today?
Right out the gate.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good. Glad to see that you're here today.
He doesn't mean that.
Right.
I absolutely did not mean it. That's my dude. Right
Let me translate that. Yeah, he ain't got nothing good to say, bro.
All right, so let's talk about these brackets a little bit. And what I did was I had some of our listeners put together some of their brackets and just kind of send them over. And I kind of did it last minute. So I'll go through my bracket first, and I know you're trying to pull yours up right now. And what I'll do is I'll just go through what the final 16 I have, since we're going to be getting to the final 16 after today's game. So right now I still have Kentucky and Notre Dame, which they still are viable for the final 16. I also have North Carolina against Arizona. Both of those teams are still viable, so we'll see how that works itself out. And then in the East region, I had Villanova, which is done. And I had them playing Virginia. So I had Virginia beating them anyway. So the Villanova loss didn't hurt me so much when they lost to North Carolina State yesterday. And then at the bottom in the South, I had Duke versus Iowa State. And I think most people probably had that Iowa State game as a loss. So I definitely wanted to put that out there. So right now I'm not in terrible shape as far as my final 16 is concerned. AR, who's a listener who listens every week, I just kind of want to run through his stuff really quickly. Kentucky versus Kansas, and Kansas got a doozy today. If you guys don't get a chance to do anything else today, you have to watch Kansas play Wichita State. Now, Bill Self, the coach from Kansas, has been on the record for saying that he had no interest in scheduling Wichita State. And the coach of Wichita State has been saying, yeah, tell them guys we want to play them. So there is a little in-state rivalry going on that Kansas wants no part of. So today's game, and we watched Wichita State win the other day, today's game is going to be a really, really good game because basically it's bragging rights for the state of Kansas. AR also has UNC in his final 16 to play Baylor, so he's done there. That's over as far as the bottom of that bracket is concerned. Then in the East, he has Villanova versus Oklahoma. Villanova's out. Oklahoma still has a chance, so we'll see how that works itself out. And at the very bottom, he's in good shape. He has Duke and Gonzaga at his in the South region as far as his 16 are concerned. Did you find your bracket?
I did.
So you want to give your final 16?
All right. I had Kentucky versus looks like Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Arizona. I had Villanova, Virginia, and Duke Gonzaga.
Duke Gonzaga.
Am I in good shape?
Yeah, I think that you are.
Villanova's the only thing I think.
Yeah, Villanova's the only thing in Iowa State, right?
I didn't have Iowa State going that far.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Maybe you don't need drug testing, even though your championship game, you got to win it. Yeah, you're somewhere else with that. Another one of our listeners, Big Will, he had Kentucky, Notre Dame in his final 16, which he's fine. Then he has North Carolina. Wait a minute. I'm looking at my own bracket. Hold on a second. Oops.
Oh, no wonder you like this so much. Oh, it's mine.
Oops.
Right, of course.
I was looking at my own bracket. I was about to say, he's a smart guy.
Will, Cat trying to help you out there, Will. I guess
clearly.
that's that Quinnipiac connection you guys got going on.
Absolutely.
The Q. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Q.
I'm glad you guys know. All right, so here's Will's bracket. He has Kentucky, Maryland, which he's still okay, I think, at this point. Then he has, this guy's handwriting is horrible, Notre Dame and Wichita, which he's okay. Then he has Wisconsin, North Carolina. And he has Baylor versus Arizona. Baylor, done. Then at the top of his bracket, he has Villanova, Arizona. He's done with Villanova. Arizona's obviously still around. Then he took Providence, and I get it. You in the Northeast, and you're up there by Providence, Rhode Island. Really, you took Providence? Stop it. Providence, Virginia, drug testing. Then he has Duke, Georgetown. Again, these ain't the old John Thompson's Georgetown team, so stop it again with that. I don't know why he had Georgetown winning. And last but not least, he has Iowa State versus Gonzaga, and obviously Iowa State's done, but Gonzaga's probably going to win today. So it seems like basically the people who sent out brackets, they are pretty close into pretty much everyone has kind of the same thing, and obviously we all have losses here or there. Did you put together a bracket, Si?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't this year.
No?
No.
Who do you have winning it all? Or even your Final Four?
I have Kentucky winning it all. I don't want them to win, but for some reason it seems like they might win.
It's the smartest thing you've said today.
I can see Kentucky, and hate to say it, if North Carolina plays and they don't turn the ball over, it probably can see North Carolina, Kentucky.
That's my dude right there. Why do you think I've been friends with this guy for 30-plus years?
You didn't even pick North Carolina.
Whoa, I got him to go and play Kentucky.
Oh,
I got him beating Wisconsin.
Oh, then they're going to
lose Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I got him losing to Kentucky.
But you would have been okay if I picked North Carolina to win it all.
Nah, I would have told you the same thing. Because I didn't pick him to win. I got Kentucky to win it. And I'm a Carolina fan, obviously. But, yeah, absolutely not. So we'll see how these brackets continue on. I wanted to switch gears just a little bit. NFL, a couple things I wanted to mention. Bernard Pierce, running back he used to be running back for the Baltimore Ravens, got caught with a DUI. He had a funny story when he got arrested. He said, do you guys know what happened to the last guy who got arrested for DUI on the Baltimore Ravens? I'll be cut tomorrow, but you guys don't really care. That's what he told the cops. So, funny story. But you know the crazy thing is, he got cut immediately, but then he got picked up a day and a half later by the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, for him, no big deal, right? At the end of the day. But he did tell the cop that, I'll be cut tomorrow.
Wow.
Now, are the Ravens being too sensitive? Now, granted, they just went through this whole Ray Rice situation. Are they being too sensitive now?
I'm different, man. I have low expectations. So, was he still a good player in their eyes? Was this a way to get out of a contract they were in? If this was Flacco, yeah, cutting him.
You sure?
I'm positive they're not cutting Flacco. Stop.
Well,
I know you're not a Flacco guy.
No, not even that. I don't even care about that side of it. But now that they've set this precedent, how do you not? How do you not?
The time's going to come when I'm going to tell you right now, it's about winning, man. And the Ray Rice situation, he had a bad season the year before.
Right.
You
don't think they would have cut him?
No.
All things equal considered, from what the video and all, you don't think they would have cut him if he would have had 1,700
maybe with the video. I'm
yards.
sorry, maybe with the video.
Right, okay.
But I think it would have been more of a fight, though.
Okay.
I don't think it would have been as easy as it was.
Well, they didn't cut him at first, so.
Right, but I think it would have been more of a fight.
Okay. Next thing, Darren Sharper. Former Green Bay Packer, was an announcer on one of the NFL shows. He had been indicted on several charges of rape and sexual assault from drugging women and on and on and on. Well, he decided to do the smartest thing he possibly could and plead guilty and accept the plea deal. Because he was looking at a ton of time. Like, 2 of the charges were 10 years each, that he was looking at. So in Vegas, and there's 5 different cities that he has the same charge going on with him. In Vegas, he decided to plead guilty. And essentially what Vegas said, that we're happy that Mr. Sharper is accepting his responsibility and his crimes, blah, 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 blah. So right now he's looking at 38 months up to 8 years just for Vegas. Also, Vegas basically said that they will allow his jail term to run concurrent with whatever else he gets from the other 4 cities that are going to be basically looking to, well, he's going to plea on all of them at this point, and what sentences they give. So he potentially may get 5 different charges, and you and I we spoke about this morning in pre-production. He may get 5 different terms, but they may all run concurrent. He's getting over like a fat rat at the end of the day.
Yes, he is.
Right.
If they allow it.
I listen, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm not. You got different state charges,
right?
So different states look at things differently. If you said this happened in Vegas, I'm not trying to be down on Vegas, but a lot of wild stuff happens in Vegas. So they may be a little more lenient on something than somebody in, New Orleans or another one of these towns. So, I mean, I don't know.
New Hampshire somewhere.
Right. So I don't know.
New Hampshire, he does 20.
Right.
right. Without a doubt.
You know, and you know, the other reason I think it was smart of him, and his lawyer probably was in his ear, was like, listen, you need to go ahead and take this plea, because you're probably not going to win, and you'll be in jail probably the rest of your life. But you've already done a year, because he's been arrested and been jailed since February of 2014. He's already been jailed, so he's already a year into his sentence at this particular point. You know, so it's smart. If you're getting 80, say you get the 38 months. You know, I don't even know, that doesn't even equate to 5 years. It's like 3.5 years or whatever the number comes out to.
3 years, 2 months.
Right, 3 years, 2 months, right? You're already a year in. I mean, he could be walking around in 2018, back out on the street. Now, obviously, he's going to probably have to register and all that stuff.
Lurking. He's
Right.
back on the street, lurking back on the street.
And look, the difference is also, too, like, each state might have, it may carry a different term for each state. So every state doesn't have the same amount of time for each sentence. So it's not, again, if you had a federal charge, it wouldn't matter where you were.
Right.
But you got different states, so it could be, like he said, New Hampshire.
And they're not going to agree what Vegas said. So New Hampshire is feeling like, listen, when you finish that 3,
I need you to ship him over here.
Right, we need to go ahead and get that 12. You owe me 12 years over here.
Right. I mean, because you know what's going to happen. What probably will happen is somebody's going to have the same opinion that you just said. He's getting over. And one of these judges is going to be like,
You're absolutely
I've
right.
seen enough of this.
Yeah.
You don't want the judge when the judge seen enough of it. And somebody's going to think about it. You're able to figure that out, and you're not in the law system like that. Somebody else is going to say,
Right.
you can't draw 30 women and only do 3 years.
Right.
Somebody can be like, yeah, in this town, you're going to pay for each of these chicks.
Yes, we've seen people like you.
Right.
We've seen people.
You've done this so many times.
Right.
How are you going to, as soon as you get out, you're probably going to try to do it again.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, for him, hopefully, but I'm sure the victims wouldn't be happy with that.
Right. And I'm sure they're going to probably sue him civilly at the end of the day. Greg Hardy, signed by the Dallas Cowboys. How do you guys feel about it? I know the mayor, and before you guys start, the mayor of Dallas said it was like a shot in the gut, basically, is what he said about them signing Greg Hardy. Now, granted, the deal is very Cowboy friendly. He's not going to make a whole lot of money. Right now, it's scheduled to make 11.3, but that's basically all incentive based upon how many games he plays, and you know, if he reaches these goals sack wise, and it's just a lot of stuff involved in this contract. But the number looks at 11.3. You guys okay with him signing?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, he was in a situation. We, as sketchy as we think it is, it didn't. The case didn't go on. I can feel about it personally some way, but he's not convicted.
I think the mayor just said that just to keep people thinking that he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm sure he really doesn't care if it was or not. But for him to go out on record to say that, it makes him look good, whether not to say nothing.
And, you know, he actually called the Cowboys immediately when he heard that they were signing him. And essentially the Cowboys kind of just broke down the deal to him and made him understand why they did it. Now, it wasn't a large market for Greg Hardy. Tampa Bay Buccaneers were also looking at him, and then they decided, yeah, we just didn't feel good about it. At the end of the day is what they decided. So the market was not big. It was really just Dallas and Tampa Bay at the end of the day looking for him. So a little bit surprised about that. As a Cowboy fan, obviously, you know, I'm ecstatic. You know, because he's a pass rusher, and you know,
it's a great steal. I think it's a great steal.
It's a great deal for us if it works itself out. A couple of things, NBA, and I know we're getting close to a break. I just wanted to say these two things. Al Harrington, St. Patrick's Elizabeth, retired after 16 years. He played with 7 teams. He averaged 13.5 points. He's going to join the Denver Nuggets coaching staff. Can't believe that kid is 35 years old, 36 years old. Unbelievable, because I played against him as a high schooler. So, and I was a grown man, and he was the best player on the court at that time. So that tells you
because I was about to say, Mo, you ain't 35.
Right. So it tells you something. But absolutely a very, very good career for him, obviously. Coming straight out of high school, one of the last people to do it. You guys have any thoughts about him retiring?
I wonder what his total salary was. You think
I
he
don't
got
know.
to
We can look
100?
it up. Yeah. He might be close.
Right.
I know in his presser, he said something to the effect that he was able to affect a lot of lives around him as well as his own financially. So he definitely put that out there for sure. So he definitely made a lot of money.
Yeah, he had didn't he, little shoe line or little shorts. Then he had a little short line, some shorts, shirt.
Oh, really? He still has a short and shoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. That I didn't know about. Another one who's going to be a Hall of Famer, Steve Nash, announced his retirement. Steve Nash, 19 years, 2 MVPs, third most assists ever in NBA history. He announced his retirement finally, and obviously he hasn't played over the last year and a half or so.
I'm going to talk about Steve Nash after we get back in 3 minutes.
Okay. Forty minutes after that, we're back to the In Full Disclosure show. Immediately following our show today, please check out Breeze DBL from 12 to 1 p.m. Fully disclosed, he's going to put down the latest R&B, classic club, hip-hop. He said he's going to go old school today, so I don't know if he's going to go old school in his mix today, so definitely stay around and check that out. Last but not least, again, we want to thank Kelly Stewart for coming in. We are shouting this out as much as possible. KidsInTheSpotlight.org and ChildHealth.org. These are two charities that she's involved with. She's having a big party next weekend, which I will be there out in L.A., and it's a party for her birthday as well as this charity function or event. It's going to be going on. Please go in, donate. Yes, sir.
Tell Kelly I got the, I guess if she's listening, I got the invite in the mail on my email, and I just checked United, and the flight is $6,212. I'm not going to be able to make that. But you have a good birthday. All right?
Kelly, this Sahid, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yes, indeed, happy birthday. All right, so before we went into the break, we were talking about Steve Nash retiring, and you said that you wanted to say something about Steve retiring.
I know a lot of people are going to be mad at Steve going to his Hall of Fame.
Why?
Some people are mad. They think they don't think he deserved any of the MVPs, right? That you one of those people? He stole one of Shaq's?
I think he may have taken one of them.
Nah, but I mean, I think he had a great career. I think he wound up having a great career. And I watched the interview with him yesterday.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and they were talking about him not winning a championship. And I was a little disappointed in his response because my response would have been, I tried to win a championship. I got 2 of these MVPs over here. Then that would have been a walk-off. I would have just left. But he stayed politically correct. He said it's disappointing, but, he's happy with his career. And he didn't play the basketball for accolades. That may be a lie, but whatever. And he stole that last $10 million from the Lakers, so I'm not mad at that either.
Well, they all do at some point in time. They all start to steal.
A lot of people in the league stealing.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right, let's get to our which would you rather. Those who listen to the show, and if your first time, every now and again we put together a set of questions that I asked Rasul or he asked me. Which would you rather? And we'll start with this one. This is a bonus question. Steve Nash or John Stockton? Who would you rather be? Career. John Stockton didn't win a championship. He didn't win a championship. Steve Nash has 2 MVPs. John Stockton leads the league in assists all time. And he played in multiple championships.
Yeah, I think Stockton was a better player, so I'd probably be Stockton. I think Stockton was a better player.
Steve Nash.
You think Stockton was the better player?
Yeah.
I almost might agree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. Just because defensively, I think Stockton.
Oh, and it wasn't even a question, right?
Yeah, I probably would go with you on that.
I think he was a better player.
Steve Nash was a better shooter and a better scorer to me.
He was a better shooter. I won't necessarily say he was a better scorer.
I mean, listen. You had Stockton getting 17, 18 a game, not trying. And let's remember the offense that Steve Nash played in. They're taking 300 shots a game.
Well, that was the bonus question today. So, all right, so let's get into these questions. A lot of these questions today are going to be individual based about you personally as a player. Oh, there's a couple of them.
Oh.
So let's start.
As a player or as a player?
As a player with an R.
All right, just check.
All right, so the first one. Which would you rather? Would you rather play on a bad team, average 18 points a night for 15 years, or would you rather play 15 years in the league, 11 points per night, and have 3 NBA rings, 25 minutes a night?
Give me 3 rings.
You'd rather have the 3 rings?
Yeah. Give me
so
3
you'd
rings.
rather not be the guy to have a really, really good NBA career? 18 points a night is a really good NBA career. I mean, Reggie Miller averaged 18 a night at the end of the day.
Don't leave Reggie alone.
Well, he did average 18 a night.
Reggie's a Hall of Famer.
I didn't say that he wasn't, but he did average 18 points a night. If you go and look at the numbers,
if I'm just averaging 18, like, so you guys brought up the Reggie. Well, you brought up the Reggie Miller thing. I mean, if I left the game as the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, I'd take that
over the 3 rings.
Yeah, I'd probably take that. If I was just an 18-point guy, because there's a few guys that's 18 points a game. They're nondescript. Like, you don't know if I can't tell you everybody who average 18 a game.
It all depends how much money you're making at that 18 or that 11.
And that's the other part of it, right? So if you average an 18 for your career, you had some years where you probably averaged 22, 23 because it had to average itself out. So a guy like Mitch Richmond, as our other guest is saying, right? It had to average itself out somewhere.
Well, I mean, but that question is a little too broad because it depends on the era that you played into. You got some guys right now getting 13, 14, 15 a game, getting $60 million contracts. So if you're talking about way back,
okay, all right, fair. Next question, again, very individual based. Would you rather make, and since the NCAA tournament's going on, would you rather make first team all 20 and lose in the Final Four, or would you rather be the 8th guy on the national championship team? Which means you won.
First team.
Oh my goodness, you guys are terrible.
You know why? And we talked about this earlier. I'm in college and I'm good. I'm trying to get to the league.
But we're not talking about the league.
No, well, I got a better chance of being the MOP and losing in the Final Four than the 8th guy coming off the bench and making the league.
Well, that's not necessarily true because if we take the 8th guy from Kentucky, you
think the 8th guy from Kentucky's going to the league? Like over the Final Four MOP? I don't know about that, dude.
No, I just said they made the all 20 team. I didn't say they made.
Okay, all tournament team. Generally speaking, give me that. Give me those accolades in college. Absolutely. That's not even. I don't even have to think about that.
Not too many people say they made the all tournament team.
Yeah, but not too many people got walking around with a championship ring either, which will always be etched in history. So that's something that you got to think about.
So is the all tournament team.
Yeah, but when I walk into a room and say, yeah, I got a national championship, as opposed to me saying, yeah, I made the all 20 team in 2015, two totally different conversations.
Well, here's a better question for you then. You gonna remember you got a better chance of remembering the guy who made the all tournament team or the eighth guy off some. I don't know if you can name the eighth guy off Kentucky right now.
I probably could, but the point is, I can say I have the ring.
And I can say I'm all tournament.
Yeah, but again, I think I'd rather say, yeah, I got national.
Here's my answer to that. When you say that to me, you played with a bunch of good dudes. Okay. I was the best guy on my team.
Okay, that's nice, but I got a ring.
Okay.
And that's fine.
Okay. So why the eighth guy? Would it matter if I was the 10th guy or the 11th guy?
Well, I went eighth guy because I wanted a guy who probably is getting some minutes. I didn't want to go with
probably. That's a key word there. Probably.
I want to get a guy. So, right, as our off-the-air guest is saying, Mitch Richmond versus Steve Kerr, right? So Mitch Richmond was that guy who was getting all the accolades, but Steve Kerr
wasn't the eighth guy, though, was he?
Seventh guy, probably.
And he was a major contributor, though.
I mean, he made some shots.
No, he was major. Mike
wouldn't
have got a ring if it wasn't for Steve over there.
You told me I could have that shot? You told me I could have a Kerr shot? Yeah, I'll take it.
It changes your thought? And you'd be the eighth guy?
Because I feel like I really, really contributed.
I don't know how many guy contributes.
Not like that.
It's not fair.
We think he hit an all-time shot.
Listen, let's be
to give Mike a ring.
At Kentucky, the eighth guy is playing almost as many minutes as the starters.
Oh, Kentucky's the anomaly. Look at every.
That's where the question came from.
All right, but I'm saying, look at every other team. So would I rather be the eighth guy in Kentucky? I told you I'm not going to Kentucky. We already had this conversation. I'm going to Davidson. I'm shining.
Let's move on. Which would you rather be? Would you rather be the best baseball player in the world or the best golfer in the world? So a team sport versus an individual sport. Which would you rather be?
Golf.
It's me. It's me.
Golf.
It's me and my caddy. It's us.
You'd rather be the best golfer than the best baseball player?
Yep. Yeah, against 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people against me. Yeah. I'm better than all million people.
So would I have rather been Tiger Woods or A-Rod? Tiger all day.
Why?
Tiger in his prime.
And A-Rod, we can't do the A-Rod because obviously we got to bring on steroids, right? So if we could factor that out some kind of way.
Take the steroids out. I'd rather be Tiger.
I don't know.
I'd rather be Tiger.
I don't know.
A-Rod didn't pack the stadium the way Tiger got people watching TV that don't even know nothing about a birdie.
Right.
Yeah, but that was only because of his ethnicity, right? So if it were Phil Mickelson, as opposed to Tiger Woods, we wouldn't be having this. I don't know if you guys would be having the same conversation.
They talking about me possibly being the greatest golfer of all time. I think more people would think golf's a harder game than baseball too.
I don't know. It's hard to hit a baseball, man. It's a hard thing to do.
Listen, I can only hit a golf. Look, you can hit a baseball a bunch of different places to get on base. You got to hit a golf ball one little hole.
Agreed.
You ain't got no other choice. It's one hole.
But here's the opposite side of that. A baseball is coming at you. A golf ball sitting still.
Okay.
It's not, and the baseball is coming with speed. It's coming with curves. It's doing all kind of stuff. It's not a simple thing to do.
The wind blowing, whole bunch of stuff happening on that golf course.
Weather.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Same weather in baseball. It's not different there.
Right, I'm just saying, for me, golf, the individual sport. Look, I win. They know it's me. Some people got championships in team sports where you go.
Well, how about
but not if you're the best in the world?
How about the best player have a terrible series and you still win the championship, or you still win?
If A-Rod was, let me take the steroids out. We'll talk A-Rod. A-Rod was the best player in the world for a while, right? I guess after Barry Bonds left, he was clearly the best player in baseball.
And he didn't win anything.
Terrible in the playoffs. If he made the playoffs, he was terrible in the playoffs until the 2009 season when he won with the Yankees, where he was the best player on the best team that one time. No, he was the best. Kershaw might be the best pitcher right now in the league, right? We pretty much say that. Go in the playoffs.
And they bombed him.
But here's the difference, though. Golfers, if you don't win the majors, It's just like not playing well in the playoffs, right? We got to equate it to something.
If you don't win a bunch of tournaments, and
you got to equate the majors.
If I took Tiger,
championship.
Tiger was winning when he was the best player in the world. He was winning majors.
He was.
When A-Rod was best player in the world, he wasn't winning a bunch of championships. So yeah, I'd rather be the guy winning chips. If that's how you're gonna take it, give me the guy that's winning chips.
Okay, fair enough. 2 more. All right. Which would you rather own? Now you're owner. For the 2015-2016 season, which team would you rather own? The Los Angeles Lakers or the New York Knicks? Next season, which team would you rather own?
Give me the Knicks.
I'd take LA.
Okay.
Oh, you said for the next season?
Just the 2015-2016 season.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, I don't want Kobe, so.
Yeah, I'm taking the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't want Kobe.
I'm taking the Knicks. And I'm diehard Kobe. I think Kobe might be top 2 best basketball player ever to lace him up.
Well, I'm gonna have a question for you in a second. I can't wait for this one since you just said that's perfect.
If you would have said the following year after Kobe's contract is done, I'll take the Lakers. I want no parts of Kobe.
You want no part, but you want parts of Melo?
More than Kobe right now.
Wow.
More than Kobe today?
Yeah.
Melo's better than Kobe today.
We agree, but we're talking about the organization.
Right, yeah. Give me the Melo organization over the Kobe organization.
Even though I think they set the Knicks coach up out there. If he don't have a good season next year, he's out of there.
Well, I think everybody's going to be out of there if they don't want to start to have a good season. They got to show some growth, right?
They got a lot of money for next year.
Yeah, but if Phil Jackson doesn't get him any talent, then he's not going to have a good season. He's going to be gone, and Phil's going to be gone. Phil's just going to retire at the end of the day.
I think Phil will pull a fast one. They get talent out there. I think Phil will come to the bench.
Absolutely not. He's 70 years old. He's not coming back to the bench.
Phil will try.
That's not happening. Dude, these guys are old, man. 82 games, and he got health issues. He's not coming back to the bench. That's not now.
Phil a smart man. He'll try.
If you would have told me when the Lakers, who did they get back? They brought back Mike Brown or D'Antoni, whomever it was, when they hired that guy, as opposed to not hired. If you would have told me Phil then, yes. But now, today, there's no possible way Phil Jackson's coming back to anybody's bench. You can't do it.
The Knicks can't get enough talent in the world to make Phil come out of there because we know.
Nobody wants to play with Melo.
Phil ain't coming down there without no talent.
Right.
Even if he thought about it.
He shouldn't.
Even if he thought about it.
As he should not.
Now, if for some reason every major free agent in the world comes there, he might tell.
He'll pull a Pat Riley. All of a sudden, your coach don't know what he's doing, so Pat want to come down and coach.
Hip feel better, don't need the high chair anymore. It'd be good. It's all good.
Okay. All right, so here's the last question I have for you guys, and for me, I'm happy that Sahid is here today.
Oh, this is the money question?
This is the money question, right? Who had the better career, right? And you have to factor in the full career. You can't just factor in NBA. You got to factor in the full career because NBA Hall of Fame is based upon your college and pro career. Who had the better career? Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant.
Timmy.
So let me read through these accolades before you, and I'll give you guys a chance to think about it. Tim Duncan, 5-time NBA champ, 2-time league MVP, 3-time finals MVP, 10-time All-NBA first team. He was the rookie of the year, 8-time All-Defensive first team. He was the college player of the year, 2-time first team All-American, 3-time player of the year defense in college, 2-time ACC player of the year, no gold Olympic medals, which shocked me. He lost in Athens and got a bronze. That shocked me. Kobe Bryant, 5-time NBA champion, 2-time finals MVP, 1 league MVP, 11-time NBA all first team, 9 times first team all defense, high school player of the year, which was the Naismith player of the year, 4-time NBA all-star MVP, 2 Olympic golds. Who had the better career? Now, who's the better player? Tim. You know who the better player? Who had the better career?
I've had this conversation with people. It's Tim. It's not even close.
It's not even close?
No. I'm going to tell you why it's not close to me, honestly. I'm going to tell you why it's not close.
Oh, God. It's not even close to?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. And I know you're going to blow a gasket. And I don't know you. And hopefully you're sitting behind me. So, Steve. Watch him when I say that.
Wait, wave at the camera.
Right. Hey, listen, if y'all see me go down, get up here. You know where the studio is. Look, Kobe was robbing on 3 of his titles. So we put 5. We
slow
put
down. Slow down.
He was absolutely robbing on 3 of his
Slow
titles.
down.
We
Slow
agree.
down. I'm gonna let you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll
let
let
me
him.
get
I'm
out.
gonna let you finish, but I just want to say, yeah, but
he was robbing.
never robbing.
So I'm not gonna get into this with you right now. And the show almost over. We can talk about it after. The first one he wasn't robbing. Really? The first one he wasn't robbing.
Listen,
he was robbing. He was
on
robbing
3 of
on.
them.
And look, I'll be fair to it. He was robbing on at least 2 of the 3.
All 3.
And he wasn't the best player on any of the 3. I'll put it like that. So when we look at his body of work, and this is the scary thing when we look at body of work, you talking about 5 titles. Just, oh my God, he's got 5 titles. Okay, yeah, but he's got 3 of them where he wasn't the guy. And then here's the deal. Who Tim won with in Kobe's era, it's a great comparison to me because they played in the same era. So for Tim to have the team that he had and get titles while Kobe and Shaq were together is amazing to me. I give him a tremendous amount of credit just for being able to achieve that during that period. So for me, and if you add in the college career, there is no college career for Kobe.
Okay.
So the gold medals,
I think that says something.
what? I mean,
It says something. He didn't win a gold medal, dude. And you an NBA player and you didn't win a gold medal.
Okay.
To me, that says something.
I don't value the gold medals as much as everybody else does because I think that the teams are so stacked at some point.
And he didn't win. That's my point. And he didn't win.
Okay, but I'll give Kobe the advantage on that, but not as much. I don't think that you think the 2 gold medals make up the difference of the college career.
No. So to me, I think that because we're doing the full career, the college career pushes Kobe aside. Only because of that. Because if I broke down the NBA careers, I think that Kobe had a better career. If I broke down the NBA careers.
Not at all.
But I think the college career to me is what pushes Tim Duncan over the top.
Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward to ever strap him up.
That's just somebody saying that.
No,
I don't
no.
necessarily believe that to be fact.
Definitely.
By any stretch of the imagination. But you agree with that, and that's fine. So you would go with Tim Duncan as well.
Yes, definitely.
Is it close? Because he says it's not even close. Is it
I
close?
think it's close because I believe Kobe is the top 2 player to ever play. I'm not saying Tim is the top 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm not even saying, and I'm diehard Tim, and I love Kobe.
Guys, this is going somewhere, and I wish you would have started about this earlier. I know you think I'm a Kobe hater. I'm not. I like Kobe's game, but I got to factor in Kobe's lack of efficiency somewhere down the line. I mean, the dude never had a season where he shot 47% from the field. So he's out there, in my mind, he's out there he's got numbers. He's putting up a lot of shots to get those numbers, and he's not doing it efficiently. And especially when you compare them to guys like Magic and Mike and Bird and all these guys. And Bird's, if we look at Bird's number, he's 24, 10, and 6 for his career. Those are monster numbers. Kobe's not going to be better than LeBron by the time it's over. You can forget that. How long was Kobe the best player in the league? Did he have a 5-year run where he was the best player in the league?
Probably not.
Clearly.
Why not?
Where? He probably
Why not?
didn't.
When?
Why not?
Well, LeBron came in 03. By 07, he was the best player in the game. I'm not sure Kobe was the best player in the game. By 08, he was the best player in the game. Definitely.
Wow.
When was Kobe? Was Kobe better than Shaq in 03?
Right. He was not.
I'm not sure
He
he was
wasn't the best
better
player
than
on his own
Shaq
team.
in 03. Dude, he
But
didn't have a run where
own
One,
team.
Cole was never Batman, was never robbing over that. I don't know
in his mind, he was never robbing. He was robbing.
Now Shaq had,
Westbrook syndrome.
now Shaq had
Right.
Shaq has been Batman for a lot of years. I mean, robbing for a lot of years. Even when he came into the league, he was robbing out there.
He was
In
robbing.
Orlando?
He was
In
robbing the
Orlando.
penny.
What drug are you on?
Yes, he was.
What drug are you on?
You bring these people in the studio, don't you?
Yes, he was.
What drug are you on that you believe that Shaq was robbing to Penny Hardaway, who was getting 21 a night if he was lucky to get 20? He probably wasn't even getting 21. He was probably getting 15 or 17.
Penny, where they have him
at that
shipped
point.
out of there, Penny.
And you know what? It was the worst thing that they could have absolutely
Penny,
done.
where they have
And he
him
didn't
shipped
get
out.
shipped. He left and went to L.A.
And then Kobe had him shipped out of there. This guy get him.
Okay.
Robin,
Again,
Batman
Shaq
does not
went
get shipped.
immediately to Miami and won.
In 2000, this is the year after Kobe Bryant put up the air ball against Utah.
Ooh, we forget about
2000, you think he was better than Shaq? In 2000?
No, he was not.
He wasn't better than Shaq.
Listen,
Is that when Shaq won the MVP 2000, right?
You think about all of those championship games, those finals MVP series. Shaq averaged 36 points a game in those. I mean, he dominated those series.
So they were down to Sacramento. They were down 3-2 going into game 6.
Right.
Your boy goes 40 and 38. Game 6, game 7, Shaq.
And the rebounds will go with it. I mean, just dominant numbers.
Son, he wasn't better than him.
He was
never. I promise you, if you look hard, you're going to be hard-pressed to find. I know you can't find a 6-year stretch where Kobe was the best player in the game.
I don't even think you can find 5.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to find 5. By the time 07 came, this is LeBron's league.
Because AI had one of them years somewhere.
Was Shaq ever the best player in the game?
He was better than Kobe.
You guys talking about the best player. Was Shaq ever the best? Did Shaq ever lead the league?
We're not talking about Shaq. So you done left we're not talking about Shaq. We're just talking. We only brought Shaq into the equation because he was on the same team with Kobe, and he was never better than Shaq ever, in my opinion. He was not. When they played together, he was never better. It's the only reason we brought Shaq into the equation.
Well,
AI won the MVP in 01, right? That's the year that they were the only team to beat the Lakers,
right?
In that series, right? 04 was Kobe. Maybe 04 was when Kobe started to become the best player in the game. But by 07, it was over. In my opinion, it was over. It was LeBron's league at that point.
Oh, wow.
It was LeBron's league at that point.
LeBron was playing great then. He wasn't the best player then.
The same LeBron that took that Cleveland team to the finals by itself.
With Boobie Gibson, really?
Because when
Kobe was the best player then? No, he wasn't the best player.
Yeah, he was. At that point, he was the best player in the game.
He had a great. That's just like saying when D Wade played out his mind.
No, he played out his mind in that series.
Right.
That's not gonna make him the best player in the league.
LeBron played out of his mind
the whole season. Right.
He was the best player in the game.
They won 62 games, if I remember correctly, that year.
And they lost to my Spurs.
Okay, but who was the best player in the league? Who was the best?
Great. Kobe was. Kobe definitely was.
Was Kobe better than AI in 01? When Kobe won the final. So when did Kobe become the best player in the league then? Because 01 he wasn't the best player in the league. So when did he become the best player in the league?
From what I'm seeing here, you guys really have a problem with Kobe.
Well, I don't have a problem with him, but people got to really sit down and think about this before you just go, hey, because Kobe wasn't the best player in the league for a 6-year run. I promise you that.
Kobe was that dude.
I'm not debating that he wasn't that dude. I'm just saying he wasn't the best player in the league for a 6-year run. I promise you that. And we can look that up during a break or during Fully Disclosed.
Sure. And to bring it back full circle, I went with Tim Duncan having a better career only because of the college piece. If we throw the college piece out, I think Kobe had the better career. So it's not like I'm against Kobe. I'm not at all. And you know I'm not a Tim Duncan guy, but I have to factor in the college piece. And because of that, I think he had the better career. Only reason is because of the college piece. Those 4 years that Tim Duncan stayed in college made the difference for me.
And I disagree with that. That's not only that.
Absolutely to me.
Well, we have to continue this in overtime. Breeze DBL is up next. Stay tuned for 1 minute. We're gonna switch over computers so Breeze can get a uninterrupted 55 minutes of whatever he's about to go in with. So just hang tight and log back on in 1 minute. We'll be right back.